My name is Kamini. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm here to talk about alcoholism and what it means to be an addict. I identify as an addict. I know that alcohol is something that perhaps is more casual to some folks. However, alcoholism is a epidemic in a way. It is completely rampant in our culture. Being an addict means uncontrollable fascination and relationship to something that you know is harming you. There is a physiological and emotional relationship to your substance, in my case, alcohol. The first time I drank, I was 10 years old. It was the year 2000, I think. And it was champagne. And I drank the champagne. It's just a small glass. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this hole that I didn't know I had in my spirit, it's filled. I felt fulfilled. I felt contentment. I felt that the universe and the world made sense. As a 10-year-old from a small glass of champagne. At the time, I did not know that I had alcoholism in the family, meaning I was predisposed to it. And you can be predisposed to addiction. It can be addiction to a variety of substances, which means that you are more likely to have that uncontrollable relationship, that toxic relationship with that substance. I didn't drink again until I was a teenager, and I started drinking in parks, and then I went to university and I kept going. Before I knew it, I was a full-time alcoholic. So I was drinking 7 days a week. By the time I was in my mid-20s, I was drinking 3 to 4 hours. I would wake up every day. I would brush my teeth twice. I would shower. I would go to work. I would chew gum. I would spray perfume during the day because my body was exuding so much alcohol that you could just smell it. And it was uncontrollable and I didn't stop. And the reality is that when you can have predisposition to the substance, and then you have environmental factors, for example, poverty, that was a big one for me, which, poverty is not just poverty of money, it's poverty of imagination, of choices, of resources, of access. And so your scope, your worldview is so small, so limited, that when you come across a substance that can alleviate the stress and anxiety that you're living with chronically every day, it comes to follow that you're going to use that substance to cope. The dangerous cycle is that a substance will then change the way you think and the way you feel in your body. So on a cellular level, when you're going through withdrawal from alcohol, literally your body, cellular nervous system will be screaming out in pain from withdrawal. It is excruciating. Then you'll have a whole host of symptoms. I used to have shakes, so my hands are pretty steady right now. I used to quiver like this all the time because I was constantly in withdrawal. And it also affects the way you think. So basically, this is wild. Substances will affect the way you think because basically, so long as you think whatever negative pattern you need to use, the substance will reinforce those patterns. So we all have them. My story was about being unlovable, about always being abandoned, and what have you. And so alcoholism reinforced those thought patterns because that is what would lead me to drink. So you have a body experience and a cognitive experience that are both pressuring you with pain, absolute pain, to get alleviation from alcohol.
A poisonous companion invited downwards, so tantalizing in its numbness and faulty friendship that you could curl up tender tight in a burning embrace which will soothe your agitation so long as you keep up. Failing to, your troubles will be doubled, exponentially spiraling to an oblivion cut short before definitions. You can grapple with all the uncertainty over and over again, gripped in seizure and existential pain, including a chronic disposition to firewater. I can hear the nails drumming now, hovering, always close, waiting to tickle despair out of my fibers so I might drown in an amber luster, my closest of lovers and most intimate of friends, destroyer of life's light. Given ignorance again, I would gladly bathe in your vicious burn, sliding close to your deathly grip so I might feel keenly alive, keenly released from a heart-crunching anxiety, overwhelming insecurities, and an enormous question of why. Why? What is this? How do I make sense of that which I do not have the functioning to understand and yet can function well enough to deeply question? It's hope that will get you through. The letting go of poisons, the chasing out of ghosts, the vicious cascade of symptoms where change is exhaustingly slow and slicing fingernails of anxiety run up and down your spine, ferociously clouding your pathways till even your vision becomes blurred behind the joyous melancholy and exacting ecstasy of sobriety. Yet sidestep and shuffle your feet, turn your head clockwise, then counter, while cupping your hands to a window, and that pain becomes definition and rendition of important things, not to be forgot or treated in sacredly, but understood as passing, like all in life, our grasping at immortality, whether an immortal life, immortal memory, or immortal thought, is to forget the essence of infinite chaos, infinite change. They teach you in group to breathe in a square. You imagine each corner. Breathe in 4 beats. Next corner, pause 4 beats. Next corner, breathe out 4 beats. Next corner, pause 4 beats. Next corner, and repeat until the ripples in your spine quiet and the clamor, roar, and rush wave out of your body for a moment held at bay. Beat, breathe, beat, hold, beat, release, beat, hold. There I was, waiting for that last day. When it came, I didn't even know, till I looked back and saw that I had finally won the battle that I thought would always have a hold on me. Sighing in your silent exultation, holding my answers so gently, I'd arrived at the eternal passage of time to discover the only place to be is here.